Woohoo! Awesome. I hope everyone is hungry for lunch. We are going to do our final thing. It's going to take 15 minutes, and then we are going to get you out there, recaffeinated, refed. Maybe some of you are going to go take a nap. You have an hour for lunch before tracks start again. But I need all of my lovely track leads. I need a clicker. I need all these humans. Please come up here so that you can intro your tracks. I didn't actually check the slides, so I hope you have checked the slides. Otherwise, you're going to be saying whatever's on there. Someone had a wrong date. Someone had a wrong room. Hopefully, you guys checked and fixed that. But yeah, let's get our track leads up here. I think first is Kuba and Jennifer. So come stand on stage. These are the humans who have helped make all of the next 3 days happen. So first, give them a round of applause. Heck yeah. Woo! I'm going to hold on to the clicker because I learned that last time. And we'll start. Oh, no, never mind. I'm first. Woo! It's me. You guys, we're done. Number 1 achieved. We have done the welcome and intro track. Almost. Give me it. It's happened here. It's happened now. We've oriented you. We've introed you. We've talked about why we're here and what we're trying to shoot for collectively as a community to help Filecoin break through to massive success. And hopefully we've built a little bit more community alignment, community friendships, community feeling, and good times. So yeah, check. Number 1.
Hello, I'm Kuba. This is Jennifer. As you all know, we worked on and prepared a protocol down to the core, a protocol development and evolution track for you guys. It's going to be 3 days, 3 half days. You can see the times and where we are. We are here, so you don't have to go far. And there's food right outside, so stay with us. We'll work on addressing challenges in Filecoin protocol, and we'll welcome you here very, very warmly, and let's work together.
The sessions are going to be spicy, so come over.
Woo! Steven.
Leave the food.
Okay, so that slide's still wrong. But yeah, so we will be in here on Monday and Tuesday, not Wednesday. The slide has been updated, but not here because I did it today. Yeah, so come here to talk about the FVM and where we want to go. Really want to talk a lot about, I guess, not necessarily road mapping, but like brainstorming of where we might want to go. We have a lot of ideas, but we need more feedback on like what people need. So that's a lot of what we're going to do, especially in the first couple of sessions. The first session, can I switch to the next slide? The first section is going to be on capabilities and direction, so I want anyone to come if they want to discuss like what they need from the FVM or what they don't like about the FVM or what they like about some other blockchain that we don't have or what's just missing in the space in general. For the second session today, we want to talk about path to native WASM. This is something people have been asking for a while, so we want to discuss a bit more, okay, why do we want native WASM? What features can we get out of it? What are our possible options there? What solutions are acceptable, what are not acceptable, that kind of stuff. Especially if you have experience working on any WASM-based blockchains, please come. Actor addressing, this is a constant pain point. People are like, we have F4, we have F1, 2, 3, 0, and then we also have 0x, and it's a mess. So we want to talk about this and figure out like how do we improve it. Some of it will be messaging, some of it will be maybe some protocol changes. Next slide. Sorry. And tomorrow we can talk about account abstraction, which is going to be a super high context and confusing discussion, but please come if you have experience with account abstraction or you want to discuss something that's really cool but hard. If you don't know what that is, it's probably going to not be the right session for you, but if you do know what account abstraction is, please come. The second session is going to be on native actors and interface, or native active interfaces and like state manipulation, stuff like that. If you have any opinions on like how to build WebAssembly actors and like the interfaces between these actors and how to describe the interfaces and how to describe their data structures and this kind of stuff, please come. Like if you care about things like FIP or FRC42, that's the kind of discussion we're going to have. Okay, that's it.
Woo! Woo! That'll also be here.
Retrievals and data availability. Hannah and I will be leading this afternoon and tomorrow. We're in the one right next to here.
Right next.
This afternoon, a bunch about how retrievals will integrate into Filecoin. And then tomorrow, it'll go into a bunch of the specific mechanisms that are getting built, how they fit together, a little bit deeper dive. Hope to see all of you there.
Yes. We will solve all the retrieval problems if you come to this track.
Give me the
Woo!
incentive.
You heard it here first.
What's the incentives for changing the track?
Yes, retrieval incentives are very much part of our
Hey, everybody. This afternoon in, excuse my pronunciation, Bjortaloft, from 1:30 to 6, we are going to be talking about scaling enterprise data on Filecoin. Opportunities, challenges, developments, tools, and services. We've got an incredible roster of experts who are really the tip of the spear in driving enterprise adoption of Filecoin into the market. Steel Dome, Banyan, Internet Archive, Storage, Seal, and others. And so, folks, I've heard today, if you're working on a Filecoin node like Forest, and you're interested in market requirements for reading window post events to prove verifiability to your clients, if you are working on SID Gravity and interested in access controls and controlling retrievability and limiting that to certain wallets, these are just certain examples of requirements and solutions that some of these partners and ecosystem contributors have developed, and we'll be brainstorming how to scale those out and move the ecosystem forward. So please join us. Cherry on top is that Bjortaloft is the most stunning room of all of them. Beautiful views of the harbor front, natural light. So if you don't have any other reason, there's one more. Come join us.
Great reason.
It's a long walk, sorry. Hey everybody, running a track on data onboarding tools, protocols, and markets overall. It'll be starting tomorrow, but also carry into Wednesday, so it's portioned out into 2 days. A good technical deep dive and follow-up to stuff that you just heard from Andrew, so I'm not going to go repeat all that. I don't think we'll solve all the retrieval problems, so hopefully we can partner together afterwards. But yeah, come check out to learn the latest on different tools being built, as well as like gaps that we want to align on, solve some different problems. Specific highlight I want to make is our focus on Wednesday will be on IPLD and data transformation and data preparation. And so for those of you that are interested in talking about bytes in, bytes out on the Filecoin network versus utilization of IPLD, would really appreciate your presence on Wednesday morning. Thank you.
Woo! Stand the view. Yours.
All right, so I'm going to keep this short. At least a third of you mentioned either IPC or compute over data in your interests this morning. The good news is that we have both in the same track, and that is tomorrow, the scale compute track. We're running all day, also on the 5th floor, so you also get the sun and all the things that Andrew said. But basically in the morning, we will start with the focus on computation with the Bacalhau, LilyPad, COD team going through a lot of details on their work and on the more general space. And then in the afternoon, we're kind of going to focus on IPC. We're actually not. We're giving one talk on IPC, and the rest of it, you will hear from builders, you will hear from the FEM team, you will hear from Protofire as well on their solutions for infrastructure deployments, and there will be discussions. So we have a lot of discussions. I mentioned specific blocks for scaling Filecoin with IPC, and also a roundtable with all of the builders involved. So if you want to learn more about IPC, about subnets, about scalability, just join us tomorrow, the entire day, on the 5th floor. Thank you.
Woo!
Hey, so on Wednesday, we are going to be talking about storage providers. So like anything from, yeah, there is some Y missing, but we have the Y. So basically what we are going to be covering is like anything from costs, like understanding like the cost of the provider. I've been working for PL for 2 years, and like since I joined, I heard that SPs were not profitable. So like that's still kind of not true. But yeah, maybe we are going to get there. Hopefully not. And a bunch of stuff around how SPs are today acting as both SPs, but also compute providers, figuring out how to divide those roles, maybe like make it more formal and like maybe use it more as part of the ecosystem. Incentivizing different storage tiers, so like having different SLAs, which means like you want data to be retrievable, but like maybe you don't care about the entire piece, and figuring out like different SLAs that we as ecosystem commit to. So like, are we our high-level network? Are we our near storage network? Like, how do we actually differentiate the different tiers? And then we're going to have like some moonshots of people thinking about like Filecoin native file systems, so figuring out how to have a file system that is great for sealed data and like having fast retrieval based on like very low pieces of tech. And then after lunch, we're going to have like more open discussions. I think those discussions should be like focused on understanding what the client requirements are, because I don't think we have like focused on that enough as a storage provider group, and figuring out like how to make storage providers better for those particular use cases, and what do we actually need, like, and potentially things that clients need that we can do as ecosystem. For example, figuring out how to like be insurance compatible. So like if someone wants to insure against like disaster recovery, like how do we actually get there? And like I think we have enough folks in this group to actually cover that. Yeah, that's kind of.
Hello, hello. So on Wednesday we have a track about FVM from the developer point of view. So I've just come straight from ETH Global, big hackathon that was happening in New York. There were like 1,000 developers there, 350 projects submitted amongst a whole series of Web3 ecosystems, Filecoin being one of the biggest ones there. So we've got a bunch of discussions. So we've got a few short talks, and then most of the track is going to be around discussions about things like what is the role of FVM and Filecoin in general in Web3. We talk about decentralization, permissionless, scalability, all that stuff. What does that actually mean when you're coming in from the Web3 world, right? A lot of the times I think we're talking about some of these things, and then you know, there's areas where we can improve on some of that as well. And we've also got a discussion later on as well, which hopefully won't clash with VOOCs, but we might have a chat about this, around programmatic SP services as well. So what do storage providers want out of FVM? What can FVM help storage providers with from that point of view as well? So it's mostly going to be discussions. Come along and find us. It is in a room on the 5th floor. I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's the sunny one everyone's talking about. So yay. Cool. See you there.
Hi, everyone. So on Wednesday, as mentioned, you have 3 track leads for a 2-part track. Beginning of the day, we're really focused on protocol governance, right? So we have a lot of really good ideas for how we'd like to improve the FIPS process in particular, and we want your ideas as users of the FIPS process, right? So we've designed these sessions to be interactive. We want to have conversations with you. Today and tomorrow, learn about new protocols you want to build, learn about changes you want to make to IPC, learn how you're going to improve Filecoin, and on Wednesday morning, come and find out how you can write standards for these things, how you can actually write FIPS to get these things implemented, and give us the pain points and feedback that you have to make sure that we're reflecting your needs in the changes we hope to make very, very soon.
And so the second half of the session will focus on Filecoin Plus, which has been a topic of great interest and attention over the last months. For those of you that have been plugged into some of that, we're really excited to re-engage you in person here so we can dive deeply into some of the open points of contention. And specifically what we're going to be focused on, I think, for this track is the next step for the program, right? So talking a little bit about how the program itself needs to be thought about slightly differently, and we want to evolve the system design to account for different types of frameworks and allocators when it comes to giving out and using network resources in the best way possible.
Yeah, building off that, if you were in Singapore, if you saw some of that, we're covering some similar stuff, but a lot of new content that we've already started designing based on some of the talks from just recently in Singapore. So bring some of the knowledge that you have around smart contracts or ways that you are data onboarding, data preparing, data distribution, because we want to build more of those allocator pathways. And in conjunction with that, we have a lot of concepts that we're working on around trust and compliance. And so there will be talks about how do we conceptualize trust in this system and what does compliance in a data storage ecosystem look like. So join us Wednesday afternoon. It'll be great. And that's our governance and action track.
This is Galen, by the way.
David.
Hi, everyone. On Wednesday afternoon, we'll be talking about what is the tooling like for storage right now, and a bunch of different groups will be sharing experience reports about what they're doing, what things are working really well, and what things will need to be improved. You don't need any prerequisites to understand these talks, or at least most of them. If you want to listen to some talks that will talk about more tangible problem solving, like something that's like really concrete and down to earth, then like this is the track for you. Thank you.
Woo. That's downstairs in Rima, right below us on Wednesday. Oh, cool, and that's me. We on Wednesday as well, and I think we're at the last thing right before the closing in here, we're gonna be talking about road mapping and building 2024 plus roadmaps as a community. We're gonna be using some fun Miro boards from Stefan. We're gonna be trying to map out themes of really important improvements for Filecoin. We're gonna try and pull together, so Track Leads, you all gotta help us out with this, try to pull together the 10,000 awesome improvements to Filecoin that you have workshopped over the last 3 days and also the previous 3 days in Singapore, and actually start laying them out and like, all right, we're gonna go do this. We're gonna go make it happen, and we're all gonna get together and push these milestones forward. So get ready. We haven't figured out how we're gonna do it yet, but we're gonna make it happen on Wednesday in here right before the closing. Be there or be square. And Jennifer, on behalf of Uni.
Yes, Uni is very busy taking care of our lunch break right now, so I'm gonna presenting this for her. So we are actually having expo and happy hours. Happy hours? The first time I learned it. It sounds interesting, so we should all go. We have a room for you to showcase your project. So I know already we have like Glyph, Titan, and so on and so forth. So a lot of interesting retrieval market like DeFi project is going to be showcased over there. If you actually build something with your fellow developers at Field Dev Summit here, you can also just like go there and showcase your project and like, you know, brainstorm and like figure out the next steps with your fellow devs over here. And apparently there are drinks, hacks, and cozy hangouts. Sounds very interesting. I will see you there. Oh, and also it's every day. Apparently it's every day from 6 to 7. So every day we're going to have happy hours.
Right next door. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. I agree. And thank you to all people who are exhibiting. If you decide you want to exhibit at the last minute, that's cool. If you just want a table and a cozy couch to continue a great discussion, it's gonna be right next door. That actually is a door, and it will open, I think, hypothetically, into the happy hour area. So it's accessible for last minute drink grabbing. I don't know, Juan, I can do this on behalf. We'll also be doing the closing track in here right after the road mapping session, where we'll recap each of these tracks. We'll get our track leads back up on stage, and we'll also do a quick retro on what went well, what we can improve upon, how we want to keep having these awesome builder gatherings going forward.